How's it going, guys? Benjamin from Two Wheels to Nowhere here. Welcome back. So, I've obviously been gone for a year, but we're back, and nonetheless, we're carrying on with the Scrambler build. So, although I've been quiet for a year, I've not been doing anything. I've been on the hunt and collected a lot of stuff that I do need for the Scrambler to actually get it somewhat going. We've got the electrical stuff, so we've got the light, we've got the rear light, we've got indicators, all the peripherals and stuff. They're not what I'm going to be using fully, but I'm just using these right now just to get all the wiring set up and mocked up. We've got all the electrics, the actual unit itself, what we're going to be using. So if I just move this light on here without making it, what we're going to be using. It's quite a big fuse box, so I'm hoping it does fit. But then we've also got some waterproof connectors and stuff like that, just stuff, and then obviously there's all my wire in there to, you know, get this thing popping off. So what I've done so far is I need a pan for everything to be located. So this is my mock-up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little pan out of that thing there, which I nicked off at the side of a boiler. Will not tell you which person I nicked the side of the boiler off, but let's just say a person's not got a side of a boiler anymore. That was a joke, by the way. It was a random boiler that was out in the street, so I nicked the side off it because I knew that metal would be absolutely perfect for the seat pan just underneath for my electric and stuff. So I didn't actually nick a boiler off anybody. But yeah, so that's my mock-up. Fits absolutely perfect, but obviously because it goes on the inside, what I've done is I've done it to as big as the outer edges. Is what I'll do is I'll mark up on the inside of what it is, and then I'll bend around where I need to bend to be able to fit it to where I need to fit it. And it's all going to be like one piece. So obviously I'm going to cut these notches out here to have that so it's flat, so wires can run underneath it and stuff like that. And then yeah, we can start cutting it out of that, get it underneath, make sure it all fits, weld it on. I mean, I'm going to have to do some touching up on paint anyway because some paint's scratched all of it shot just from where I've not been careful, but nonetheless we're actually doing it. I've got my laptop set up so I can just keep referring to diagrams and stuff like that. We're going to start with the basics, so we've got the coil, the CDI, this starter motor relay thing, I don't know, but yeah, we've got the basics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the pan side, get the main components where they need to be going, like the CDI and stuff like that. Yeah, the CDI and stuff will fit in there with the fuse box and everything like that, and it's all just going to look nice and neat underneath the seat, so we're not having a lot of electrics showing, because what will happen is it'll flow from here up underneath the tank, because the tank's raised a bit, and then that's how we're going to do it. So yeah, first I'm going to get this side marked onto there, and then we'll cut that out and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going for out of cardboard. So obviously wires can go underneath there. I think I'm just gonna, instead of welding this, I'm gonna use rivets and rivet every so often, just so then I can drill it out if I need to actually do anything like that. But I think that's it. Like, I can put stuff in here, I can put stuff in here, might make it a little bit lower, because as it stands at the minute, you can't really see it because it's like the same thickness as the bars. But if I put, let's say, this central unit in, which is quite thick, you're not going to hide it, it's not going to hide very well, so I might have to make it a little bit thicker, which is no problem, but we've got the basic outline going. So I think from that we'll just trace it onto this thing and start a grinding. Okay, so that's the outline basics of it done. So obviously it all lines up properly. Now I've just got to score the inside on where it's actually going to sit, make a little cut, and then bend it around so it just slots in and looks very tasty and nice. And then we're going to sand it down a little bit, scuff it up, give it some black paint, and then, you know, we're done. Right, we're back in shed. We've had some mishaps, some fingers nearly been chopped off, we've had drill bits in hands. Oh, it's been a nightmare. So this was the original one I did, and it all just started snapping to bits and stuff, so I've had to soften up a bit of metal, which was part of my shelf, but we'll just ignore that. And now I've traced another bit, so I'm doing it in 2 sections now just because it's a ton easier. And basically what I've done is I've pre-drilled the holes, but the drill bit in the actual drill doesn't fit within the chassis. So my big brain thinking is I'm going to use a self-tapper, because I don't have anything small enough to actually fit within that. Use a self-tapper first, get through the frame, and then drill it with the correct size hole to use a rivet in. That's my plan, that's what we're going to do. Whether it works or not is it's another matter, so we're just going to have to test it. Right, let's have a gaze, see if it works. I think I'm going to have the same problem, if all honesty. Ow. Actually, do you know what? Come to think of it, I wonder if I could just self-tap these straight in. So I'm gonna try and get this one in. Obviously I'm not going to keep it there, but the self-tapper works, why not through self-tapping screws? Obviously I'm going to use the rivets, but if this works, I'm a genius. I'm an absolute genius, I am. So that one in there. Tell you what, it'd be easier if I could get closer. Take this out, put that in there, put that in there. Let's see what happens now. Ooh. I can use this. I cannot believe that's worked. Fantastic. Right, now it's going to be a bit hard, this one. I've got to bend it down. No, I don't see me doing that unless I leave it that high and then just mark the, because it does seem about similar. So if I just mark the it's through. Not right. Right, so if I mark, I could just use like a mallet or something. Never mind, I'm doing that. And then that shapes to the bike. Beautiful. So I've somewhat managed to get the engine running again with my dodgy wiring and stuff. I've sourced a battery out somewhere as well. It was in my boxes and I didn't even know I had that. So we don't have to buy a battery now, which is a good thing. But I think now we've got everything we need to start the actual wiring. I've put the front headlight on and the front indicators. I just need to put the back light and indicators on, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the wires to that, because I want to touch up this paintwork once I've done this back pan. I was going to use this, but I just don't like it. It's too janky. It looks messy, and I just don't like it basically. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make something out of cardboard, somewhat similar profile to that, and then I'm going to use fiberglass with like a metal body at the bottom to basically make this back pan, because I need this back pan for my fuse box. And then after that we can get to doing the wires. I can't do the wiring until I've got a fuse box sat where it needs to be sat, and I've watched so many videos of like people doing different things, and it's such a big space. But then I need to cut these off and then make something for the underneath of that to have a quick release latch as opposed to it being bolted on. So I just want it easier to take off and on, so a quick release is just an easier thing for me. I'm still figuring out stuff, but I just wanted everything on the bike, so then once everything is up and running we can go back and, you know, paint up and finish it off. And then obviously we're going to be getting new tyres for the back and the front. The actual back brake cylinder whole thing works perfectly. All shoes are good and nice. I just need to buy a back brake like kit, because this didn't come with one, and then we're good. So yeah, small video, but it's the first video back, so I do hope you stick around for the actual finishing of this, because it's been a very long time coming. So again, we're gonna see what happens, and hopefully within the next couple of months or a month or so before summer's out, we can go for one ride at least. So yeah, that's where we're at the minute. I know it don't look like much, but over the next coming weeks, slowly going to start merging it all back together, and it's going to look good.